University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, and the Cardinals hope that this playoff atmosphere rubs off on them as they take on the Dallas Cowboys. Cardinals in first place in the NFC West, and the Cowboys come in at 4-1. Dick Stockton along with Troy Aikman and Pam Oliver as well. And this could be an exciting game, and the fans are primed for it, and it shapes up.
League offensively, two of the top scoring offenses in the National Football League. The Cowboys in particular, they can beat you in so many different ways. Tony Romo playing very well, has a lot of big weapons on the outside to throw the football to, but they can also beat you running the football. The Arizona Cardinals, on the other hand, they do not run the ball nearly as well. It really comes down to how well Kurt Warner can throw the football, and more importantly, how well can he be protected. For the Cardinals to have a chance in this ball game, Dick, I really believe that they're going to have to be able to create some turnovers. That's an area where the Cowboys have struggled offensively, and it's an area where defensively the Cardinals have excelled.
All right, Troy, and there is Kurt Warner getting ready to get into action as the Cardinals have won the toss and they will receive. First time this year that they haven't deferred when they've won the toss. And the Cowboys, Nick Folk will be kicking off to start the game. J.J. Arrington and Jeremy Urban are back deep. And Arrington at the 9. Good return by Arrington. Still on his feet. Has blockers. Inside the 20, the 10. J.J. Arrington goes in for the touchdown. What a start. 93-yard kickoff return to start the game by J.J. Arrington.
Well, you take a look at this, and it looked like when they had him to the sideline right there that they might have been able to push him out. You got the kicker who was in a position to knock him out of bounds. He's able to get underneath him. J.J. Arrington, another way, Dick, that they could beat the Cowboys is get a kickoff return to start the ball game.
And a big problem for Dallas as Neil Rackers adds the extra point. And if you're wondering about the blue and white jerseys in the crowd, and the Dallas Cowboys always have their fans here in Arizona, right now it is all Arizona.
Well, just a nice job. I mean, Nick Folk, he's in a position, as you're going to see, to be able to knock Arrington out of bounds. He just takes a bad angle. Instead of staying to his inside and pushing him out of bounds, he turns him back in, and then there was no pursuit coming from that side. I mean, you think back to last week in that ball game against Cincinnati, Dallas's kickoff coverage team really struggled. And in a lot of ways, that's what allowed Cincinnati to get back into that ball game. They've had problems in that area. They open up the ball game here today and give up a touchdown to start this game.
Arrington active for the first time all year last week. And Wade Phillips' reaction. And the Cowboys are in an early hole with just 15 seconds gone by.
Well, that got the crowd going.
You know, the Cardinals were concerned that many of their season ticket holders might sell their tickets to rabid Cowboy fans, and there are plenty of them here. But this will do a good deal of quieting the fans who are wearing blue and white. So now the Cardinals will be kicking off, and Neil Rackers will do the honors. Felix Jones back deep. And it's a short kick and picked up by Tony Curtis. And Tony Curtis is down at the 32, a return of 4 yards. So here is Tony Romo coming on with the Dallas Cowboys offense. And very early, Troy, they have to go to work.
Well, they're going to do it with good field position. I mean, I don't understand what the Cardinals were trying to do on that kickoff. You know, to give the ball to an offense that is as prolific as what the Dallas Cowboys are to start this drive on the 32-yard line. I think you'd like to say you've got better coverage ability than that and could have done a better job had you have just kicked it deep.
Romo starts from the 32. Marion Barber And Barber picks up maybe a yard. Take a look at the Cardinal defensive unit. They are improved over a year ago, Troy, but they have some injury issues in the secondary.
Well, they do. They're banged up in the secondary, and that's obviously a concern, as we talked about the weapons that Dallas has. And so the group that's going to have to make up for that is that front four. And they're going to have to be able to put pressure on Tony Romo. If he has time back there, I just don't see how the secondary will hold up.
2nd down and 9. Having problems with the signals. Here's Barber. And stopped just short of the 35-yard line by Antrell Roll, the free safety. Maybe a yard on the play will bring up 3rd and long.
It's really a good job by Arizona. Dallas spreads them out and then hands the ball off to Marion Barber. And to be able to contain him in the middle like that is pretty good. I mean, as we know, those that have had an opportunity to watch this Cowboys team, Marion Barber in the open field is very difficult to bring down, leads the league in run after contact.
And Clancy Pendergast, the defensive coordinator, of course, familiar with the Dallas Cowboys, having coached there. 3rd and 7. Romo wanted that snap. Play clock was running down. And it's dumped off, and the pass will be incomplete if you want to call it a pass. And a penalty flag is down.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty still. 3rd down.
Romo knew the play clock was coming down.
Well, I've always felt that, you know, the quarterback has to see the play clock and know when it's winding down, and Tony did. You know, he's wanting the ball. He knows that they're running out of time, and Gerard's looking at him. You see his head's down. He's just not giving it to him. You know, that's when you run up there and just kick him in the rear end.
So now it is 3rd down and 12. Back on the 30. Romo getting some time, and the pass is nearly intercepted. And it was Roderick Hood who got a hand on it. Terrell Owens was the intended receiver. 4th down, and the Cowboys have to kick.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, Arizona coming into this game, and obviously a big game for them, and a chance for them to show that, you know, what they're about. And to come out, return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and then force an early punt by Dallas. What a great start for this Arizona team.
Matt McBriar with a good kick. Steve Breston inside the 15. And Breston is down as he gets to the 25. 58-yard punt by McBriar. And so we'll finally see Kurt Warner come out for the first time.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Rousing start for the Cardinals. J.J. Arrington's 93-yard kickoff return, and now the Cardinals offense on the field at the 25, 1st down. Penalty flag is down, and the play will be blown dead as Warner tossed to Fitzgerald.
Number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty still.
Leonard Pope, the tight end, and a 5-yard penalty. Taking a look at the Cardinals offense now, Anquan Bolden, who suffered the concussion and surgery on the sinus, still out of action.
Yeah, but they still have Larry Fitzgerald, and that's a big loss. I mean, no question when you lose a guy like Anquan Bolden. But I was impressed last week with the job Steve Breston did, stepping in as that number 2 guy.
1st down and 15. Hand off to Edgerrin James. Out of the shotgun, and James picking up about 7 yards. Brady James making the tackle. Let's take a look at the Cowboy defense. And of course, we know that Roy Williams has been out, and Terrence Newman out as well, and Adam Jones starts at cornerback, Troy.
And that's a group in the secondary that has had some problems, and Adam Jones has had some problems, and I'm not just talking about off the field. And so, you know, he's going to have to play a lot better than he has played early in the season in this game today.
And he'll be tested. if Warner gets protection. 2nd down and 7. Again, they hand off to James, but nothing there. We'll lose about a yard, and it's Marcus Spears right on top of the play, and a loss of 1.
Yeah, and Marcus Spears, he has really come along this year. You know, he was drafted in the 1st round, the same year that they picked up DeMarcus Ware, and I think everybody's been kind of waiting for when the light's going to go on for him, and this year that seems to have happened, and he's going to always be compared with the production of a guy like Ware, but he is playing a lot better than he had in recent years.
3rd down and 7. And 4 wide receivers line up for the Cardinals. Warner trying to get it to Fitzgerald. There was contact made by Mike Jenkins, the nickelback rookie, but incidental contact it was, and 4th down coming up, and the Cardinals will punt.
And the offensive line really did a nice job picking up Anthony Henry off the blitz, and I thought there was early contact as well. You see Jenkins, you know, yes, he's going for the ball, but you can't go through the receiver in order to get to the football, and in my opinion, that's exactly what he did. He went right through, Larry Fitzgerald, and the official was right there to see it.
Dirk Johnson will punt. And Adam Jones back to return. From the 21. And knocked back. Great coverage by the Cardinals as Jones is knocked down after the 51-yard kick by Clark Higgins. We'll be right back. Early in this game, and there is Russ Grimm, who along with Ken Wisenhunt, the head coach, both wanted the Steeler head coaching job, and Wisenhunt comes out and brings Russ Grimm with him as you look at the Dallas defensive line. First down for the Cowboys on their 28. And the pitch to Barber. And Barber manages about a yard, and right now for a game break, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
The Houston Texans going for their first win of the season, down with 7 seconds left by 5. Matt Schaub takes care of that with a game-winning touchdown run from 3 yards out, and the Texans get their first W, knocking off the Dolphins. Dick, Troy, and Pam.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. And the Cowboys spread it out on 2nd down and 9, empty backfield. And the pass is incomplete. Another flag is down. And the timeout was called. No penalty, apparently.
Arizona, first team timeout.
And the Arizona Cardinals on defense call the timeout. Less than 5 minutes gone by in the first quarter.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Ford. Drive One. By the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. And by State Farm, proud sponsor of the NFL and the best day of the week.
And welcome back to Glendale, Arizona. The Cardinals calling a timeout. And the Cowboys with a 2nd down and 9. Romo, the pocket crashes, loses the ball, and he is ruled down. And it was Darnell Dockett, number 90, who came on in and knocked the ball away. So it'll be a loss on the play of 10 yards. First sack on Romo.
Well, Arizona, they decide to bring a little bit of pressure, and they're able to get it with Darnell Dockett, as we saw. And on the back end, they were playing man-to-man coverage without any help on Terrell Owens. And it looked like he had a shot had Tony Romo had been able to get the ball to him, and so did Jason Witten. I think one of the real keys is if they're going to bring some people up around the line of scrimmage, try to play the running game, try to get pressure on Romo, then they've got to be able to match up outside like they did there.
And Ken Wisenhunt is going to challenge, saying that the ball, and it did look like it came loose before his knee was down.
Well, there's no question, and I thought that, you know, when it happened, it was a fumble, and that's why I was shocked. I never saw his arm move forward at all. There was never an attempt to throw the football, and that's why I couldn't understand why the official was saying it was an incomplete pass. So that one, that will be ruled a fumble, there's no question, and it should be Arizona's ball.
Please set the play clock to 12 seconds.
Dockett caused the possible fumble, and Travis LeBoy recovered it for the Cardinals, number 55. And I guess the question has to be asked, Troy, did they blow the whistle? And apparently they did. So no challenge. The whistle had blown, maybe prematurely. 3rd down and 20. Romo with time, and the pass intended for Owens out of bounds. And that will bring up 4th down. A rocky start for the Cowboys.
Well, a rocky start, but I got to tell you, the Cowboys are fortunate there because, I don't think forward progress had been stopped. We're trying to get clarification on exactly what the ruling was on the field. They decided that forward progress had been stopped. It was ruled a sack. But in my opinion, that should not have been the call. I mean, that was a fumbled ball, and that is something that Tony Romo has struggled with this season.
Matt McBriar got off a great kick the first time around, and another boomer, and Steve Breston returning from the 20. Now flag is down back at the 30-yard line as Breston is out of bounds at the 35. Cardinal offense coming on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Number 80 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Penalty against the Cardinals. Here it is again. The near fumble. And the Cowboys did indeed catch a break. Tony Romo waiting for another chance. And the Cardinals with a 7-0 lead. Get the ball again. 1st down on the 21. Hand off to James. And James picks up nearly 5 yards on 1st down.
I think it's interesting, Dick, watching Arizona offensively right now. I mean, they are trying to run the football, and they've not run the ball particularly well. This year they've really struggled running the football. And looking at Dallas, of course, they are up 7-0. The defense has played well against this Cowboys offense, and I do think that it's important that they continue to try to run the football. They can't let guys like DeMarcus Ware and Greg Ellis just come off the edge. Having said that, I think that if they're going to be able to move the ball and have success, it's going to be because of their ability to throw it.
Tim Hightower, the rookie running back, replaces Edgerrin James. 2nd down and 6, and a fake to Hightower, and the pass to Steve Breston, and Breston is knocked back. Still on his feet, finally down at the 26-yard line. So after all of that, 1 yard, the old veteran Zach Thomas.
Hey, you just got to wrap up. I mean, Zach Thomas puts a huge hit on him. I mean, and helmet-to-helmet contact there. Zach goes flying, and he's able to stay on his feet. Breston, and he was able to get back to about where he was when Zach Thomas hit him to begin with. Zach Thomas a year ago missed a lot of time because of a concussion, and I'm surprised he didn't get himself one there.
He's giving it out there. 3rd down and 5. And Breston has to be knocked silly, and the ball off the hands, fumbled first by Kurt Warner, and a loose ball at the 25. Warner had lost the ball, and the Cowboys recover. Anthony Henry at the bottom of that pile recovers, and a big turnaround break for the Cowboys. So the fumbling problems that plagued Kurt Warner 2 weeks ago come back.
Well, it was a bad snap, but Kurt was able to recover it, and then he just didn't protect it after that, and the ball came out. We all know that he had the 6 turnovers 2 weeks ago against the New York Jets, fumbled it 4 times, lost 3 of those. That was not his fault initially, but he should have done a better job protecting it after he recovered it.
Cowboys on the Cardinal 25. Play fake. Romo loses it as he's hit from behind. And the Cardinals get it back. Bertrand Berry back in action, forced the fumble. And Antonio Smith picked it up. And Arizona gets it back in a crazy first quarter here in Glendale. Cardinals turned it over, then the Cowboys turned it over, and a first down on the 28. Kurt Warner with the short drop completes the pass to Steve Preston. It'll be a first down. Down to the 43. Gain of 16.
We'll take a look at Bertrand Berry. He's working against Flozell Adams. He's really the only guy who's even able to get any pressure, and that's why Romo thought that he had more time than he had. He could have stepped up more in the pocket. But Bertrand Berry does a great job, as the great defensive end pass rushers do, going right for the football. And then there's a conversation on the sidelines with Terrell Owens and center Andre Girard. It looked at one time that Girard was in a position to recover that fumble, but Smith took it away from him.
Here's Edgerrin James going outside and picking up about 4 yards on the play. So Tony Romo right now 0 for 2 and is fumbled, and that is the 20th straight game with a giveaway. Only New Orleans has a longer streak. And again they go to James going outside, but no way, as DeMarcus Ware tracks him down, and they'll lose 2 on that one.
Well, there's no question that the Cardinals are attempting to commit to the running game as best they can. They'd like to stay in positive down situations. Andre Ware doing a good job getting off his block and then stringing Edgerrin James out, losing some yards. So now this turns into a 3rd and 8 where they were hoping to get it to about a 3rd and 4 situation.
Ken Wisenhunt wants more of the balance. Kurt Warner wants more of the passing. They got a pass on 3rd and 8 here. And the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Jay Ratliff. And what a year he's having in his first season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jay Ratliff, came onto the scene, a 7th round pick, and you talk about a great find in the draft. And he could arguably be playing the best amongst anyone on that defensive group. When you consider that he leads the team in quarterback pressures and tackles for losses, and also at the nose tackle position is 2nd on the team in sacks.
On 4th down, Dirk Johnson with his 2nd punt of the game, and Adam Jones will let the ball go out of bounds. So kind of a wild start, and right off the bat with J.J. Arrington's 93-yard kickoff return, and then the back-to-back turnovers. Well, that's why you never know, right?
It has been a wild start. I mean, it's been amazing, starting with the kickoff return for a touchdown, and then, offensively, neither team has really been able to settle in. Tony Romo looks like he's a little, discombobulated within the pocket, and then the Cardinals, they don't look a whole lot better offensively. Defensively, they're, both groups are able to do some things, but I'm expecting one of these offenses here to settle in and start being the offense that we're accustomed to watching.
So let's see that high-scoring game. It hasn't started yet. Here's the first 3 possessions of the game for both sides as Marion Barber up the middle, maybe a yard.
I'll tell you what, Antonio Smith is having himself a heck of a start right now. I know coming into this game, the Cowboys had great respect for the Cardinals defense, but didn't feel that they were an overly physical group. And Clancy Pendergast, the defensive coordinator, has done a great job of getting this group to play hard. But so far, at least in this game here in the first quarter, the Cardinals defensive front has been more physical than the Cowboys offensive front, and that's really saying something, because this is a big physical group for the Dallas Cowboys.
Terrell Owens to the bottom of your picture, defended by Hood, handoff to Marion Barber, and it looks like both teams want to run the ball early and get something going. Let's check in now with Kurt Menefee with a game break.
All right, Philadelphia and San Francisco. Eagles offense has been struggling, but not on this play. This is Correll Buckhalter diving in to give the Eagles the early lead at 7-6. Let's get it back to Dick, Troy, and Pam.
All right, and of course the Cowboys know the Eagles, one of the strong teams in the NFC East. And Arizona trying to stay ahead of San Fran. 3rd and 6. Barber is split wide to the right. And the pass to Witten off his hands and defended well by Adrian Wilson, the strong safety. And 4th down coming up again.
Well, you get into games like this, and this is really the key down, 3rd down, and this is what you do not see very often from Jason Witten. You know, it's amazing the chemistry that he and Tony Romo have. They're roommates on the road before games. They get a chance to talk about the game plan, go through the things that they're going to be looking for, and more times than not, they're on the same page. You don't see Witten drop many balls like that.
So McBriar punting for the 3rd time to Steve Breston. It's a shorter kick, and Breston at the 30. Cowboys overrunning their coverage, and Breston nicely brings it out close to the 40-yard line. Well, tonight, Game 3 of the NLCS. The scene shifts to Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Ryan Howard and the Phillies take on Manny Ramirez and the Dodgers. Phillies won the first 2 games, but did not win when they played the Dodgers in L.A. this year. Coverage of the Game 3 of the NLCS begins tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific in high definition, only on Fox. And Jamie Moyer, the ageless one, will be going against Hiroki Kuroda in the crucial Game 3. Cardinals on their 38. Withstanding pressure, Warner gets hit, and the pass is intercepted. Ken Hamlin, and out of bounds he goes. Kurt Warner going deep, was hit as he let go of the ball, and it's intercepted.
Well, they did a good job on the outside. Levi Brown blocks up to Marcus Ware, but the pressure comes inside. You're going to see Marcus Spears. They run a twist. Kurt tries stepping up, and Marcus Spears is right there to put the hit on him. And then Kurt, as you can tell, uncomfortable with the throw, throwing it late down the field. I don't think he was ever going to have a chance on that play. Ken Hamlin, the safety for the Cowboys, has great range, and on late throws, he has the ability, as he did there, to get over the top and make a play.
Only the 2nd interception of the year by the Cowboys, first by a defensive back. Felix Jones is in the lineup in the pass to Jason Witten, and Witten is stopped after about 8.5 yards. So Ken Hamlin with the interception. Greg Ellis had the only other pick for the Cowboys this year, and that was last week. So Warner has felt the pressure of the Cowboys defense thus far. 2nd turnover by Arizona. 2nd and 1. Felix Jones, and he'll get the 1st down out to the 33.
I'll tell you, Felix Jones, I mean, what an amazing start he has had to his rookie year, or his NFL career. I mean, he's a guy that, you know, there's so many playmakers on this Cowboy team that you got to be careful as to when you bring in, you know, other guys like Felix Jones. They'd like to get him about 6 to 8 carries per game, and when he gets the ball, he has had the ability to turn small gains into some big gainers.
Career high 96 yards rushing last week against the Bengals. 1st down, and the pass out to Creighton. And he is upended after picking up 6 yards by Roderick Hood.
I know in talking with offensive coordinator Jason Garrett the other day, he said we like to come out into a game and we like to see how the defense is going to play us, and then we are then going to attack what we feel are their weaknesses. Well, the Cardinals have stacked the line of scrimmage. They want to stop the running game. That's pretty obvious. And so on the last couple of plays, we've seen Romo get into some shotgun and get into some of the things he's most comfortable doing.
2nd and 4 on the 39, and Felix Jones within 2 yards of the 1st down. Jones had no touches in the previous week against the Redskins, and then came on with his best game of his rookie year last week. And it'll be 3rd down and short for Dallas.
Yeah, in fact, coming off that Washington Redskin loss, a lot of criticism came on the shoulders of Jason Garrett for not running the football more, not getting the ball to Felix Jones, not getting the ball to Marion Barber. He came off of that loss with a career high, season high, 38 rushing attempts last week against Cincinnati.
Cowboys need 2 yards, and Marion Barber back in at running back. And Romo on the run and overthrows Patrick Creighton. So 4th down and 2 on the Cowboy 42-yard line, and once again the Cardinal defense holds.
I think if you look at the Dallas Cowboys coming into this season, or coming into this game, excuse me, they led the National Football League, converting almost 60% on 3rd down. So far, they've not converted on 3rd down. The Cardinals defensively have done a good job in that regard.
So once again, Matt McBriar punting for the 4th time in this first quarter. Steve Breston. We'll see it bounce on the 1. And it went in for the touchback. Very close for the Cowboys. So with under a minute and a half remaining in the first, 7-0 in favor of the Cardinals, and some impressive great finishes early on Fox today as the Vikings escaped the Lions just barely. And the other 2 field goals that won the games were long ones. 49 yards as the Rams shocked the Redskins, and the Falcons beating the Bears. 48-yard field goal by Jason Elam. Big days for Drew Brees, Peyton Manning for the Colts, and Andre Johnson for the Houston Texans. Cardinals again 1st and 10, this time on their 20. Edgerrin James going outside, stumbled a bit, and picks up a couple. And a flag is down, thrown back near the line of scrimmage. It'll go against Arizona.
Yeah, initially, it didn't look like they were going to get the call, but Lyle Senline, the center, he was able to he pulls down Jay Ratliff, and Jay Ratliff got up looking at the official, waiting for the call, and then finally the flag came out. Here's a look at it, and it's run away, and Ratliff was trying to get to him, but he got yanked down by the center, Senline.
So now 1st down and 20, and an opportunity for the Cowboys with the Cardinals backed up on their own 10. Play action, and the screen to James. Flag is down, and James runs it out to the 23-yard line, but a penalty flag thrown at the 18. Anthony Henry making the tackle. A 14-yard pickup.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 76, the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Another penalty against the Cardinals backs them up some more.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Cardinals, I mean, I don't know that you can ask anything more of what the Cardinals have done defensively, and yet the Cardinals offense just keeps shooting themselves in the foot.
Less than a minute to go in the quarter, and we have not had an offensive touchdown with 2 high-scoring teams. So now the ball on the 5, 1st and 25. And here's the shuffle pass to Tim Hightower, the rookie from Richmond, and the Cowboys with great pursuit led by Adam Jones with a big play there. The gain is 3, and that'll bring up 2nd and long, very long.
Boy, I'll say we had a shot there of Todd Haley, and trying to call plays when you get backed up like this near your own goal line, and trying to turn this into a 1st down is very, very difficult, and that's why we're seeing some of the things that they're doing with the shovel pass on that last play.
Well, that'll be the end of the first quarter, and a strange one it was with the score. Cardinals 7, Cowboys nothing. Start of the second quarter, did we say these teams score a lot of points?
You did. Yeah. No, I did not.
I'm going to look at the tape. 2nd down and 23. On the Cardinals 7. Harrington going in motion. Back on the goal line, and Warner gets rid of it to Larry Fitzgerald just in the nick of time. First catch of the game by Fitzgerald, who gets 10.
Well, I tell you, they did a good job, Arizona did, up front. But DeMarcus Ware, he just kept playing. And you go low on him. I mean, he's such a good athlete. That was not a three-step drop. And so, to me, you've got to be able to block him up high. Ware comes around, and Kirk just barely gets this ball out. Fortunate to have even completed the pass. You know, we showed his chin a little bit earlier, the stitches that he has there from last week's game. And he has taken, not only this year, I mean, he's taken a lot of hits throughout his entire career.
He is a warrior and has been around and still loves to play and throw, as he does there to Jeremy Urban. And Urban is hit. And a good play there by Orlando Scandrick, the dime back, and a 1 yard. All the Cardinals get there. So it's a 4th down, and Cowboys could be looking at good field position.
Well, they should be, yes. And you know, when you start off a series and you have those kinds of penalties and get backed up, I mean, it's almost impossible then that you're going to be able to convert and continue to move the football because of a first down. And, you know, that's why they're punting here.
Dirk Johnson to kick it away, and Adam Jones backing up from the 27th. Flag is down. Jones gets away from a couple of defenders. Finally piled on at the 35-yard line. In the area where you have an illegal block in the back after the 56-yard kick by Johnson.
During a return, illegal block in the back. Number 54, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Bobby Carpenter, formerly a number 1 pick by the Cowboys. Wade says nah. In the second quarter, first down for the Cowboys on the 14. And on the draw play, Marion Barber getting 9 yards. And our chance to welcome in Pam Oliver for the first time. Hi, Pam.
Hi there, Dick. The wild start to this ball game, you can see it evident in the players' faces down here. I've seen players looking at each other in disbelief. I've seen players actually laughing amongst themselves at the degree of what the wildest the turnovers that we're seeing here today. Units will come off the field. They'll pay particular attention to the jumbotron because they're not quite sure when they'll have to spring into action. But the nature of the turnovers we're seeing here today. Back to you.
3 turnovers, 2 first downs, and only 50 total yards, Pam, in that first quarter. Second down and 1, and Barber will get enough for the first down as Green will set him down at the 26. Pickup of 3.
Well, I think you just look at these 2 offensive units and the fact that they haven't, you know, been able to execute any better than what they have is really been surprising. I don't know that there's been a time, you know, certainly since Tony Romo took over as the quarterback for the Cowboys, that they've been so ineffective for a quarter. You know, coming into this possession right here, only 17 yards of offense.
First down on the 26. Romo going up the middle and has Barber. And Barber is hit immediately at the 32 after picking up 7 yards.
I know we talk about some of the things that Tony Romo does well. There's been a lot of discussion this week about the turnovers that he has had. And, you know, it's a fine line. I know that this Cowboy coaching staff, they obviously don't want to see turnovers, but yet they don't want to take away the very things that make him the player that he is. And that's why he does create the big plays, and that's why this Cowboy team does lead the NFL in plays of 20 yards or more.
You can't play close to the vest and not make mistakes as Marion Barber gets close to yet another first down, picking up 3 more. It'll be 3rd down and 1. And Calais Campbell, number 93, rookie from Miami, is coming in on the defensive line, replacing Darnell Dockett.
And I'm a little surprised that they take Darnell Dockett out in this situation. I think he's a very disruptive player and a guy that I really would not want to, unless he's just gassed. But in this situation, I'd like to see him on the field.
Both Jones and Barber are both in the backfield for Dallas. And they flip it out. Flag is down to Felix Jones. And on the option play, Jones gets to the 49 of Arizona. It would be 15 yards, but the flag came out fast. And it appears to be against the Cowboys.
Illegal formation offense. Number 75 is uncovered on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Yeah, 75, Mark Colombo, he's the right tackle, and somebody's got to cover him up, and they failed to do that. You know, Travis LaVoy, you're going to see, and it's because Jason Witten goes in motion. And therefore, there's got to be a receiver then that covers up the tackle. But Travis LaVoy, he's the outside defensive end in that particular scheme, and he's got to contain, especially when you've got a burner like Felix Jones in the backfield.
So instead of the ball in Cardinal territory, 3rd and 6 back at the 30 out of the shotgun, and here is Marion Barber on the reception, and he'll have the first down. Wide open was Barber out of the backfield and gets to the 42-yard line, getting 12 yards.
Well, in that situation, when you get Marion Barber out there in open space, you got to go attack him, and you can't wait for him to come to you. And so when he makes the catch there, you got to come up and you got to go after him, and instead Rod Hood waited for Barber, and you're never going to get a guy like him on the ground when you do that.
First down at the 43. The handoff to Barber, who's hit hard by Dansby. Up the middle, gets about 1.5 yards on the play.
That group inside, they've done well overall here in the first half of this ball game, and in not allowing Marion Barber to get a lot of extra yards after contact. I think Carlos Dansby is an excellent linebacker, and then in the middle, Gerald Hayes. I mean, he's a thumper in the middle. He plays downhill, and that's important in a game like this if you're going to face the Cowboys with them trying to run the football.
And Dockett comes out again, Troy. 2nd down and 8. Gabe Watson, who played well last week, is in there. Felix Jones in motion to the top. Romo dumps it off to Barber. But the Cardinals are there. And this time it's the middle linebacker, Gerald Hayes. And Barber will lose 2 on that play.
Yeah, and that's what I was referring to a little bit earlier, where Roderick Hood did not go after him. Of course, he's a cornerback. It's a little bit easier when you're a middle linebacker and you carry a little bit more size. But Gerald Hayes playing downhill, once Barber got the ball in his hands, was able to make a play. A nice job on his part.
And to this point, the Cowboys have not been able to get any big plays on Arizona.
Well, and they've not gotten the ball to Terrell Owens yet either. And if you think about it, 2 of the last 3 games, he's only had 2 receptions. And so far in this first half, he has none.
3rd and 10. Romo, and the pass deflected away, nearly intercepted. And it was Antrell Roll who did not have possession long enough. But the Cardinals hold once again.
This was not a very good decision on Tony Romo's part. Antron Roll, 21. He has the angle the entire time. You know, that's a ball that's got to get so far to the sideline in order to keep him from undercutting it that it would have been out of bounds for Creighton to even have a chance of catching that ball. And
Creighton knocked the ball away, preventing the interception. So a good play by the Cowboy wide receiver. Here's Matt McBriar kicking once again, and Preston will let it go. It'll go out of bounds. So after several good kicks, not a good one for Matt McBriar. And we'll be right back. Cardinals ball. Well, there's Terrell Owens, shut out so far. Tried to get the ball to him only once thus far. And after the 23-yard kick by McBriar, the Cardinals have it on their 34.
Looked like he was trying to keep himself entertained a little bit over on the sideline. So far, the offense hasn't amused him, has it?
I don't think the offenses have amused anyone. J.J. Arrington is the running back, and he gets the call. And he picks up a couple of yards with Anthony Spencer. 2-yard pickup for Arrington. Well, next week, Fox NFL Sunday, this is the lineup. The 49ers come east to play the Giants. And St. Louis hosting Dallas. And the Rams have to feel good about themselves. They'll take on the Cowboys and the rest of the action. Next Sunday, the pregame begins at 12 noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
And congratulations to Coach Jim Haslett and the big win that the Rams had today over the Washington Redskins.
And on the road. 2nd and 8 on the 36. Spreading it out. And Warner has a wide open Steve Breaston. And a first down into Cowboy territory. And a gain of 22 yards.
Well, good execution there by the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to send Early Doucette, the rookie, right through the middle of the defense. And then in behind that is where you've got Steve Breaston. So when you're able to blow the top off the coverage and then you get protection like he's able to get here, Mike Gandy doing a good job against DeMarcus Ware. And the Cardinals knew coming in, as every team does, we've got to find a way to slow DeMarcus Ware down. They have for the most part, even though DeMarcus has had a few plays.
Here comes the safety blitz and the pass throw behind Jeremy Urban, incomplete.
Yeah, it didn't look to me like Jeremy Urban was ready for the football because, you know, Kurt had to unload that one a little bit earlier than what he wanted to. But if Urban had been able to make the catch, granted it was a little bit behind him, but he just was not ready for the throw. He's waiting for it, and then he finally picks it up, and he's not able to make the grab. But had he have been able to, there was a lot of room out in front of him for some big yards.
And you know, Troy, Steve Breaston starting in place of Anquan Bolden, who was injured most of any NFL receivers in catches the last 2 weeks. So he has come up big, the rookie. Handoff to Edgerrin James. And James maybe a half a yard. Spencer again with another good play.
Anthony Spencer, of course, their first round pick from a couple of years ago. He's been battling through some injuries, but you know, he's a guy that they feel is going to be a good player for them, and he makes a nice play there on 2nd down.
Kurt Warner has completed 6 of 10 for 53 yards and an interception. 3rd and 10. Warner over the middle to Pope, the tight end. So Leonard Pope is stopped about 4 yards shy of the first down by Kevin Burnett.
Well, I think you've got to take a look here. They're waving Kurt Warner back out there. They're in that position to where it's a little too long for a field goal. It doesn't make sense to punt either. So they're going forward on 4th down. I'm a little surprised that Kurt wasn't aware of that, because you'd be thinking that, well, if we are going to go for it, if we don't make it, you know, that would certainly affect then what you're willing to do on 3rd down as a quarterback.
Tight formation, but they got 4 wide receivers, including Early Doucette. 4th down and 4. And Hamlin was trying to time the snap, and a false start call against the Cardinals.
False start. Number 75 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Right tackle Levi Brown. So now there's no question about what they're going to do.
No, and I think this is the right decision. You back up 5 more yards, the likelihood of being able to convert, you know, on 3rd and long isn't very good. The Cowboys were going to bring pressure. We see Ken Hamlin, you know, coming off the edge. They were also coming off the front side where Levi Brown was, and he just moved too early.
Patrick Creighton was back deep as Dirk Johnson kicks it. And a fair catch. So Creighton back there that time, and the Cowboys will get it back.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by WebMD. Better information, better health.
Back here at Glendale, Arizona. Cowboys were 3rd in the NFL in total yards per game. Today only 51 yards, but neither team lighting up the offense. That's T.O. wide to the right, 1st down on the 9-yard line. Marion Barber, and nothing there.
You know, and for the defense for Arizona, I mean, really the key for them is, okay, can we get an 8th guy in the box? Can we drop the safety down in there to help in run support? and then also guess right when they're going to throw the football and then be back in coverage. And on that play on first down, you're anticipating that the Cowboys will run the football. They had the safety down there. They're able to make a play. They were singling up on Terrell Owens. And maybe now they'll get into some of the check with me's, the Cowboys will, where they can dictate what they're doing at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 9. Romo backing up, and Romo is tackled. Loose ball on the play, and it's a touchdown. The Cardinals get it. Antonio Smith has been a force throughout this first half. And he recovers the fumble in the end zone for the safety.
And you see Tony Romo, he's wanting Wade Phillips to challenge the call. But Wade wants to wait and see just exactly what happened. And he goes back, and I think that's a fumble. I mean, he's acting as if maybe he was throwing the ball. I didn't see that.
And Wade Phillips did throw the challenge flag.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field, but challenging that the quarterback's arm was going forward and it was a pass.
Well, the combination of Dockett and Smith may have netted the Cardinals 2 more points here. And we're back here.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was going forward. It is a tuck by rule. Ball will be placed on the 10-yard line. Third down.
Troy, that's what you saw during the break.
Well, it's the tuck rule. That's what we saw in the playoff game with the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots, and he's trying to bring his arm back. And, you know, that the rule is what it is. And that was a good challenge by Wade Phillips, and Tony knew it. You can see that as he's coming over to the sidelines, he's asking Wade Phillips to challenge the call, knew that he was bringing his arm back. And so a good challenge and a good reversal there by the officials.
And that is the rule. It's not a matter of judgment. It is what the rule is. As you mentioned, got big play after that playoff game in the snow many years ago in New England. Third down and 10. Make it 9 after the incomplete pass. Again, Romo gets rid of it, and a good catch is made by Patrick Creighton. And a fingertip catch will give the Cowboys a first down as they get out of trouble to the 34. 24-yard pickup. Good play by Romo and Creighton.
I'll tell you, Patrick Creighton, he has dropped a few balls recently, but he's got some of the best hands on this team, and you're going to see him use those on this particular play. Outstretched there, not an easy catch, ball coming away. And at the end of that play, Romo gets hit again by Clark Higgins. You know, he's had to hold the ball in order to let his receivers get open, but he has paid a price, you know, when he has done that.
Longest play from scrimmage for the Cowboys, and a first down on their 34. Penalty flag there. And a false start penalty will be marked off against the Cowboys.
False start, number 82. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I think right now maybe, you know, some of the concern if I was with the Dallas Cowboys is that Tony, you know, normally he's got a pretty good feel for the pressure that's coming, but, you know, it hasn't looked like he's seen it coming for the most part in this game. You know, he's held onto the ball thinking he's had more time than what he's had, and someone's been able to slip in behind him, whether strip the ball from him or take him to the ground.
The Cardinals are throwing everything at the Cowboys here in this first half. First and 15. And the quick pass out to Tony Curtis. And Curtis makes the catch. Will lose a yard as a result of that with Roderick Hood right on the play.
I'll tell you what, you come into a game like this defensively against the Dallas Cowboys knowing all the weapons that they have, and you just want to keep from giving up the big play, and that's been the focus all week long. Clancy Pendergast, the defensive coordinator, talked to this group. We cannot give up the big play. They haven't done that, but in addition to that, they've played them pretty tight on a lot of the underneath throws and challenged everything they've done.
Terrell Owens still nothing. Second down and 11. Hand off to Barber. Marion Barber is put down at the 39 and will have another penalty marker.
Holding, number 75. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
It's Mark Colombo, second penalty on him today.
I'll tell you what, I mean, these officials, they're going to have to ice their arms at halftime, you know, from throwing these flags so much.
Like pitchers do, right?
They've thrown it more than the quarterbacks have, you know. Wow.
Ice those elbows, right?
Yeah, you know, normally when you get up in age, though, it's rotator cuff. So I think they're going to be packing the shoulder more than anything.
And the 2-minute warning here in Glendale. No offense today yet. Arizona leading 7-0. 2 minutes remain in the first half. Second down and 21 for Dallas. 7-0. Cardinals lead. Screen to Marion Barber. And good blocking in front, and Barber, who needed 21 yards, gets about 19 of them on that play, with Carlos Dansby, the weak side linebacker, downfield, bringing him down.
There was a good call by offensive coordinator Jason Garrett. Cardinals thinking that they had to try to get the ball down the field in order to convert. Second and long situation. They come with the screen. They block it well and gave Marion Barber just a clean lane to pick up most of those yards.
Each team has all of their timeouts remaining. 3rd and 2. Romo flips it out to Barber. He's got the first down. Barber gets it to the 45-yard line, picking up 3 with Dansby again on the play. And a timeout will be called by the Dallas Cowboys, their first, as they pick up a first. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, scores and highlights from around the league. And the Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated with up-to-the-second stats. Correction, each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Arizona called one early, and this was the only score of the game. The opening kickoff, J.J. Arrington returns it 93 yards for a touchdown. So 2 teams that are in the top 5 in offense in the league have not been able to manage any points. And the last time Cowboys were shut out in the first half nearly 2 years ago against the Colts, and the Cowboys came back to win. It'll be first down for Dallas on their 45. 1:10 on the clock. Romo has Creighton wide open down the middle. Patrick Creighton cutting to the outside. Touchdown Cowboys. .55 yards for the first Dallas score of the game.
Well, and that's how fast it happens for this Dallas Cowboy team. I mean, they always have the ability on every play. You think you've got them down, you think you've got them bottled up. And one play later, they get the ball into Creighton's hands, and he's able to knife through the defense, and just nobody was able to get on him.
Nick Folk ties the game. Creighton with his second touchdown catch of the year.
Well, they get everybody spread out. You're going to see Creighton. He goes to the middle of the field. He puts a move on him there. They're in a zone coverage. Pretty good blocking there by T.O., at least in shielding him. And then the safety, the middle safety, just is unable to get on him and then make the play. Here's Terrell Owens. Not sure exactly where Creighton was going to go, but he does enough, does a good enough job in order for Creighton to have the lane. It's got to be a little demoralizing for this Arizona defense for having done such a good job, and then to give it all up in one play and tie the score up.
7-7 with 59 seconds remaining in the first half, and Tony Romo, who came in leading the NFC with 11 touchdown passes, adds another one. He was 5 for 6 on that drive for over 100 yards. lot of weapons on this Dallas Cowboy team. Going 91 yards in under 4 minutes. And now Nick Folk will be kicking off. Arrington and Urban are back deep for Arizona. And it bounces off the short man at the 30-yard line in the scramble. We'll wait for the official signal. Well, we've had a few of these scrums today.
Yeah, and you don't want to know what's going on at the bottom of that pile right now either.
Cowboys. Big break for Dallas with under a minute to go in the half.
Yeah, all Dallas is trying to do is just, pooch a kickoff there so that the Cardinals, won't be able to do much with it and try to run this thing down. They get it to Calais Campbell, and obviously he's not used to trying to handle, kickoff returns or anything like that, but you'd think that he'd be able to make a little bit better attempt on the ball than what he did.
So it's the Shard Choice who made the recovery after Calais Campbell on the short kick couldn't hold on, and the Cowboys have a first down on the Cardinal 27. Romo gets hit as he tries to get it to Miles Austin.
I tell you, we've seen Tony Romo get hit a lot here in this first half. In fact, I think it's the most he has ever been hit in a full ball game. Almost every time he drops back, he's getting hit, and he's stepping up into the pocket as he should be. But this defensive front doing a good job of getting off their blocks late and still being able to bring Romo to the ground, and even having said that, was close to being able to get the ball to Miles Austin for another touchdown.
Antonio Smith knocked him down. So that's been that kind of a first half. 10 times he's been knocked down. Second down and 10. Out to the sideline, and the pass is caught by Terrell Owens, and it will be his first catch of the game. Just shy of the first down with Roderick Hood defending. No huddle with a half a minute remaining. Cowboys still have 2 timeouts. Third down and 1. Romo's pass and intended for Owens, and Roderick Hood defending on the play. Very nearly got the first down, but it'll be 4th down here, and the field goal team comes out.
I thought the Dallas Cowboys rushed that a little bit. Tony Romo, rushing that 3rd down to where it didn't look like everybody really knew exactly what the play was that they were going to run. And, there was time. They still had timeouts left, and they didn't need to rush it the way that they did.
Nick Folk with a 36-yard attempt. Close. And it hits the upright. Bounds off. No good. You can hear that all over the stadium. And let's hear it here.
I know Nick Folk, he's Mr. Reliable. That's his first miss on the season. And that was for his standards, that was a chip shot.
So Calais Campbell can exhale right now after losing the ball, and Ken Wisenhunt and the Cardinals keep this game even on the missed field goal from 36 yards out by Folk.
Well, when you give the ball to the Cowboys, at that part on the field, you're hoping just to be able to hold them to 3 points and not give up a touchdown. They did that, and then with the missed field goal, very fortunate now to be going into this game, or going into this halftime tied up.
What a strange game. Warner 7 of 11. Fitzgerald caught 1 pass. Terrell Owens caught only 1 pass. So all these prolific offensive teams out here today managed just 1 offensive score in a 7-7 game. Here's the missed field goal. And Folk, who played his college football at the University of Arizona in Tucson, reacted that way. So the Cardinals, who have won 5 in a row here at home and are in first place for the first time after 5 games in 20 years, are even with the Dallas Cowboys 7-7 at intermission.